All right, is it recording? I think it is. Hey, if you're watching the last video, I guess I really did finish this page. I mean, I might have done a couple more touch-ups and everything, but it's looking good. I've posted it over to Instagram. If you want to follow my comic, go to Instagram. Follow me at RabbitFighter13, and you can read the whole story. Although it's interrupted by Inktober at this point, because that's what I did for Instagram. Now we're starting page 16. We've got to get to the end game of the story. I know that there are a lot of opinions about how long should a comic story be, but I think it should reach an end at around 16 pages is my personal goal. And this is going to go over 16 pages, but it won't go over by much. Like 17, 18, that's fine. 22, that's okay. It's pushing it a bit. Don't stretch it out. If you can get it done earlier, get it done, resolve all the action. And it's okay to have a part 2 or part 3, do a multi-part story, and all that. You never know where a story's going to go. It might actually take another page to wrap up and resolve, even once this battle is over. There's always the question of what did the characters win. They got to Arcadia, and he recovered some of his memories. Like he's there, he's seen the monument, and I think that's what he has to say on the last panel. Seeing that monument brought back some memories, and it's going to lead him to like the next step on his quest. Because the point of the comic isn't just the battle; there's got to be more to it, right? So as always, I like to start with a 1-inch or around 1-inch margins. These really are 1 inch because the full size of this is 11 by 16 canvas, so it's really like this big. So that's like an inch. It doesn't look like an inch when it's small like this because that's just the size of my iPad. I start a second layer. The second layer, I reduce the opacity to about 50%, and that way I always know what's the pencil and what's the panel layer, and then when I put the ink layer on top of that, of course, that'll be in pure black and everything will be good. What's going to happen now is basically Prometheus Powers has been getting his butt kicked. I think it starts right here. He gets hit hard right here. He slips out. He does a punch, but he gets like just clobbered here, and he's about to get killed, and then kind of saved the day by Hondo the Chimera. But we want to keep this going. Now this is going to be really rough. If you've followed any of my channel at all, you know that I start kind of rough, and then I refine. I think this is a time-honored technique by a lot of people. Okay, with Stardust off balance in the last panel, after getting socked by or swiped by the tail of... Oh, he was a tail. He was swiped by the Chimera. That means Prometheus Powers has an opportunity to kind of jump in and I don't know how to do this, and sock him himself and do some real damage. Alright, if I can actually draw it. One of the problems with Prometheus Powers is he's not a big muscle man. He's kind of supposed to be a youngster. Okay, I'm wondering if... Let's see if I take this and make it smaller. Make it smaller. It's almost like his feet. And then shh. His head should be forward like this. Head is too big. I know he's in front. This arm is too long and too muscular. So what I can do now gotta show Stardust as being a lot buffer, and I've got him as around the same size. So let's pump him up a little bit. Like proportion wise, whoops, uniform. I don't need this. I don't need this line right here yet. That's looking like a good start. Um, when we show the back of Stardust, I want to be able to show that his costume has been shredded. Um, and then also, let's see, that he's backed up by the Chimera in the background. How do I do this foot? That's the question. I think once again I gotta make it just a bit smaller. I'll probably even have to do it smaller still because, once I start fitting in dialogue, and all battles have dialogue. Superheroes talk when they fight. It's important. Important note. That foot is too big. It's like I got into the foot a little bit too much. Here's the. This almost feels Ditko-esque to stick the monster behind him like that. Maybe I've made it a bit too big. Put it in back here somewhere, so we can see a little bit of the creature. Let's go for the third. I call this the layer cake format, where I'm doing 3 layers like this. It's actually a very standard format. Most comics seem to either default to. Well, basically, you got 3 choices. You can go 3 layers. You can go 2 layers. You can go, big splash page. And this can divide into 9 panels, although I can't do it. I'm not that good. I can do 6 panels. um, so let's see if we can get a 6-panel page out of this. I'm trying to think of how to. Maybe he's like. So, for once we see Stardust kind of get what he deserves. Him being the bad guy. Bad guys and good guys. Look at his faces. Oof. I'm looking forward to working on my map today. Or I started this new series where I've been working through the what's it called? Kent David Kelly's old school game world generator. And I'm doing really well on it. And actually the next step is to build some more maps. Like I've built the whole world map. I don't know if you've seen it. And I've got to ink it, and I'm going to try and do some nice like calligraphy and stuff on it, and then erase a layer and then color it, colored pencil. But then I'm going to take one of these regions, and that's going to be kind of the gaming area, and we're just going to expand that into 2 or 3 zoomed in maps, like maybe just of this 21 or 12 area, or some other area. And then the rest of the areas just kind of get like loose write-ups and stuff. 28 might be the area that I do. It's not. It's landlocked though. That's one of the problems. Or 18 was one idea I had. I think that each hex circle, like a hex surrounded by 6 hexes, that's about the size of a single graph paper. I also had the idea that I would do it without graph paper, just do it on regular paper, because he gives you the options and recommends the options, and one of the things he says, if you're an artist, you could probably handle drawing the map on regular paper. You don't need the graph paper, because the only important thing is to get the scale right. That's the only thing the graph paper is for. And luckily I happen to have that skill to a degree, right? Okay, if we're punching him this way, maybe he grabs him at the end. This is the same thing, he grabbed him by the collar. He got grabbed by the collar earlier. I don't think you can grab Stardust by the collar. He's got this big open chest looking costume thing. He's got to be kind of given up at this point, right? That's okay. That feels about right for the main character, but my real problem right now is here's the spine, pelvis. All right, now this character is not fitting really well into. First of all, let's do this. We're gonna shrink it down, but just for the purposes of drawing it, because I want to draw it. I mean, I might end up shrinking it down, but maybe he's looking away. He's not able to handle it. In this way, it's. We also have to make sure that Stardust is always seen as bigger. What we have here is really like Peter Pan versus Captain Hook. You know how Captain Hook was bigger, but Peter Pan was an equal, right? I think that's the right size comparison. We're going to make it even smaller again. You know, but this leg is like back here. There's the energy. Closed fist. Let's do an open hand. See, open hand is totally different than closed fist. It looks like he really is surrendering, right? And then let's have the third party step in. Oh, I think I'm having a problem. I think what I have to do is I have to make him shorter? Lower down? Something like that? Okay. So let's do like hidden in the background. I'm trying to do like a. This is Abrax in the background casting a spell. No, Abrax doesn't really cast spells. He's a summoner, but he's going to be summoning something. I might need to go look at some reference here for him. The problem with him is he wears this turban thing, and I want to get that. It's a really dramatic look to it. I say his nose is down, his eyes are closed. I have ideas for the hands, but I don't have the figure really figured out. I wonder. Hang on. I have a previous page that I used. And I think it's this one. So we did this one. But let's take a look at like I have him over here casting a spell. I gotta figure out this last bit. Alright, well I'll probably be working on this today. Okay. Not quite roughed out. We're gonna leave it for what it is. Please like, follow, and subscribe. There'll be more comics every day. We're gonna get through this page. Page 16 has begun. Everything's gonna be good. I will talk to you later.